Okay, tonight is WWE's Extreme Rules pay-per-view, so I'm here to give you my thoughts on what is going to happen tonight, my predictions, as it were. So yeah, let's get straight into it with Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross set to take on Michael Cole and Jack Swagger in a tag team country whipping match. Hopefully they're going to end the feud here in this match. They're going to end the Lawler-Cole feud because it's dragged on for far too long. We all thought it was going to last for about a few weeks. They went up to Mania and we all thought, right, it's going to end at Mania. It didn't end at Mania and it's still going a month later. So yeah, I'm hoping that they end the feud. For them to do that, they're going to have to get Jerry Lawler and JR to get a clean win. Hopefully Lawler over Cole. Then after the match, Cole and Swagger will have a little falling out, and then maybe they'll have a little feud, not against each other. Maybe Cole will go and get somebody else to fight Jack Swagger, and Swagger will be the face out of it. Swagger will have a face turn. Good match or not? This is not going to be a good match, is it? It's going to be a boring match. We're all going to be sat. This is the piss break match, isn't it? It's usually the women's match, but Michael Cole is the worst wrestler than the women at the end of the day. Nothing against women wrestlers, just the WWE don't really put on good women's matches, do they? So yeah, yeah, this is going to be the poorest match of the night, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm going to guess. So yeah, Cole and Lawler for the win there. It's Cole and Lawler, they're against each other. Lawler and JR for the win. Right, next match, Mike Mizanin, The Miz versus John Cena versus John Morrison in a cage match for the WWE title. And I think they're going to give this one to The Miz. But what I actually want Cena to win this, in all honesty. I'll tell you why when I talk about the next match. But yeah, I'd like Cena to win it. But no, what I think is going to happen is Miz is going to win it. They're going to have it where Miz like scurries around the ring, and then Cena and Morrison end up getting into it. And then the finish will come where something like Cena will hit the FU on John Morrison, and then Miz will get a cheap win out of nowhere. Either escaping the cage or something like that. But yeah, I can't see him winning this one cleanly. It's obviously been set up so that Cena and John Morrison can take each other out in terms of protecting the Miz. Maybe R-Truth will get involved, come up from under the ring, spray something into the ring, into Morrison's eyes or something like that, and which will help Miz get the win while Cena's knocked out. Maybe Morrison and Miz will team up on Cena because they see him as a stronger candidate. But yeah, it should be a decent match, this one. Nothing too spectacular, like standard freestyle match, something like that. Next match, Christian versus Alberto Del Rio in a ladder match. What I want to happen in this one is Alberto Del Rio to win it, go over to Raw with Cena having won the cage match, and then to go against each other and unify the titles maybe at the next pay-per-view. That would be the dream scenario for me. I've always said that they shouldn't have two world titles, they shouldn't have two main titles, they should just have one. And this is the prime time. This is a good time for them to do it. Give it to Alberto Del Rio. He's gone over to Raw. He can then have that feud with Cena, and maybe he can unify the titles. Even Cena can unify the titles, and that'd be good in my eyes. Have him keep the title for a month or two, and then drop it to someone else. Miz, I don't care if it's Miz or not. But yeah, let's unify the titles. That's what I'd like. Well, I think it's going to happen though. I think Christian's going to get the win. It's a ladder match, so it's his sort of speciality. Maybe Edge will get involved. I've not seen SmackDown this week. Didn't Alberto Del Rio do a goodbye party for Edge? Should be interesting to watch that. Well, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, this one should be a good match, and I think Christian is set to win his first title, which everyone's going to go mental for because everyone's Christian fans in the IWC and YWC, aren't they? I'm not going to lie, I'm a Christian fan myself, so I'll be quite happy about that. Next match is Randy Orton versus CM Punk in a last man standing match. What I'd like to happen is CM Punk to win. You know, Orton's been dicking him basically, hasn't he? So I'd like Punk to get a win, but I don't see that. Orton's just been moved over to SmackDown. I think it's quite obvious that Orton's going to get a push over there, so they need him looking strong. They're going to have him win this last man standing match, in my opinion, and it should be a pretty good match. CM Punk puts on great matches. I'm not great is a bit of an over exaggeration, isn't it? Puts on good matches. I'm not a big fan of Orton, although his move over to SmackDown and his promo he did at the start of last week's SmackDown, I've seen that. That was quite good. But yeah, together they'll put on a good match and they'll be entertaining. But what I think will happen here is Randy Orton will get the win. Next up, Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. Falls count anywhere. I can see Rey Mysterio winning this. Rey Mysterio has just gone over to Raw. Cody Rhodes is still on SmackDown even. not going over. He's on SmackDown. Falls count anywhere. Much like the last match, where it's Raw versus SmackDown in the Punk cart and stuff. I can't see him giving these two matches are both interchangeable. They'll either make one Raw guy win and one SmackDown guy win, basically. And in the last one I've gone for Orton, who's on SmackDown, and in this one I'm going to go for Ray, who's on Raw. Keep Ray looking strong, especially because Cody's been getting all the heat on him. Cody won at WrestleMania, didn't he, as well? So yeah, and he said that he's going to give Ray a new mask, a new facial reconstruction sort of thing. But no, I think Ray's going to win this. Well, I'd like to see Cody Rhodes win it, in all honesty. I'd like to see Cody keep looking strong, because Ray doesn't really need it. You can put it, he's a small guy, you can have him lose matches, but as soon as he wins one, he's right up there again. He can just keep losing and he's still a fan favourite. So yeah, I'd like to see Cody win, because Cody could do with the rub, but whatever. And this should be a good match as well. Ray always puts on good matches. Cody Rhodes is always getting better in his matches, so yeah, this should be good. And then Layla versus Michelle McCool, no DQ, loser leaves WWE. Now, I saw a little spiral on the internet that a Diva's leaving the WWE, but I decided not to read it, because I didn't want. It said Diva leaving WWE after Extreme Rules, and I didn't want it to spoil this match for me, so I've not read it. So I'm going into it with the mentality that whoever loses this is going to go over to Raw. So if it's someone who's going to go over to Raw, I think Michelle's going to win this, or Layla's going to lose, go over to Raw. But if it's someone who's going to leave, I think Layla's going to win and Michelle's going to leave WWE for a bit, because, you know, Undertaker's battered and bruised and they can spend a bit of time together, etc, etc. But yeah, what do I want to happen in this? I want Layla to win. I'm a fan of Layla, and it'd be good to see Michelle lose, and I think Michelle would sell it better, like look all upset because she's the heel, and then we can do the na 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 hey hey goodbye stuff to her. That'd be all the good. Well, it'll be a good match, a women's match. I think it's no DQ, no disqualification, no count out, lose WWE, lose SmackDown even. So yeah, it should be pretty good. What do I think will happen? I think Michelle will win, in all honesty. I think Michelle will get the win over Layla, and Layla will go over to Raw and then get squashed by Karma. I've done a video about Karma. Hopefully she won't debut tonight, so that my video about Karma, when I do release it, is still relevant, because I've talked about her as if she's up and coming. But yeah, what do you think about Extreme Rules? What do you think is going to happen? I've talked far too long in this video. It's going to take me ages to upload it because my internet's slow here. So yeah, with that, I'm out, and thanks for watching. See you later.